be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well I just wanna be happy, how to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to a very, very late edition of the Marko Yamashita Show. I'm your host, Marko Yamashita. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your extreme patience with everything that has been going on. Red, welcome to the chat. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here and being here extremely late. I know I've been making a lot of people wait and having to push things around, and I am extremely thankful that for everyone that has been patient with me. I wanted to give everyone at least an explanation before the end of tonight or this morning for some of you about what's going on, because I have been having to shuffle everything around so much, especially the last few days, and it's been kind of chaotic for me, and so if you will bear with me just for a little bit, I'll try to explain everything and as much or as little detail as you guys want to hear. The biggest thing that, well, the most immediate thing that's been happening recently here that I've been dealing with, and that happened tonight, as most of you know, I'm a very big cat lover. I have two cats of my own, and I know some people will immediately start groaning, and they're like, "Oh, this is about your about his cats, or about his pets or something like that." Well, I have a purebred Siamese cat that's turning 15 this year. He turns 15 in June. I've had him since he was 6 months old, right? Um, I mean, he we I basically raised them from the time I got him. And I got him right after I had my spinal fusion. And he was like an emotional type of support for me. They would classify him kind of like a therapeutic type of pet. Because I couldn't go back. I couldn't go out much while I was healing during that time frame, anyways. And he's showing signs of being in the first stages of what's classified in the feline realm of feline Alzheimer's. Um, and it's very sad to watch, guys. Um, and there ain't no cure for it. Um, Alzheimer's, for humans, there ain't no cure for that either. Um, and he's he hasn't had so much as a cold for 15 years. He's been healthy and everything else, and um, most of the time he's his normal self. But there, about 40 minutes before I was going to stream tonight, um, he came running into my computer room, and he hid underneath my computer table with his ears down, down his tail between his legs, like he was, just like he was scared. And there's nothing in my apartment that could possibly scare him. And that no one is in the apartment except for me and my other cat. And I didn't hear anything else, and he was just spooked to hell. And he wouldn't come out. And he was just howling and howling, and and he goes through fits like this, and he's been going through fits like this for the last couple weeks now. And, there's sometimes where some days where he just don't leave my side, because it's almost like if I walk away from him, he's lost. And all he does is pace my apartment over and over and over and over again, like he doesn't know where he's trying to go. And it's just so heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. You know, and he's still there. You know, he's still there. It's just that, I mean, he's old. He's getting older. And my vet. You know, they told me that, in the next, you know, I probably only have a couple more years with him before I'm gonna have to make a decision. And I don't want to make a decision to put him down, you know. And I'm just praying to God that I was like, man, please just take him one day, in peace, so I don't have to make that decision, man. So, anyways, I usually when that happens, I pick him up, and then, I take him, and I'll sit him on my bed, and I'll lay right next to him, and I'll just, I'll put my arm around him, and I'll just, I'll pet him and let him know that he's, let him feel like, that, like, he's safe, and usually, he'll curl up and, calm down, and then go to sleep. But I mean, yeah, I had, I had to take care of that, because I, I, I couldn't just push him off to the side because I wanted to play a video game. I'm sorry. I he's my little guy. He's been with, like I said, he's been with me for almost 15 years now. I mean, when I was, recovering from my spinal surgery, the little my little guy was, I mean, he was right there. I don't, I mean, I don't want him to suffer, and I don't want him to, I don't want him to be in pain or suffering, or, not have to go through, something terrible. And I've seen, late stage Alzheimer's patients, and I don't want him to go through all that. I just, I would rather have him, you know let him pass on in peace and at home, you know than some vet's office. But anyways, hang on 1 second. Okay. So, I may have to, move things around. I mean, his pattern of behavior hasn't been what it used to be, and you know, if it kind of shifts into something a little bit different, but and it's something that I can kind of anticipate, you know, it may make it easier for me to do things, actively, and let him still kind of go through his motions where he can still feel like things are still familiar, and um you know it will not feel strange for him to to see me doing stuff, or me closing a door, or closing him out of a room, and feeling like I'm not home, or he hears my voice but he can't find me, that kind of thing. Because there's a lot of times where depending on what I'm doing, or what I'm streaming, or what's happening, the room I'm in, I either have the door open or closed, or it really kind of depends. That because if I want to try to minimize the amount of noise that's coming into the room, or echo, or all that kind of stuff, then I tend to have the room closed. But if I'm okay with the cats coming in and making cameos and stuff like that, then I'll leave it open, that kind of thing. But it just kind of depends. But they he also, I also kind of want him to have that kind of freedom as well, so he has that familiarity. Because he sees me at the computer working on something, or playing something, and he usually automatically knows I'm busy. He's not going to pay attention to me, and then he'll turn around and leave, or he'll sit there and he'll fall asleep next to me, that kind of thing. But there's also times where if I'm talking and I'm really engaged in an animated conversation with what we're talking about, he'll think I'm like really upset, or really excited about something, and then he'll get kind of wound up about whatever it is that he's thinking about. And uh if if he's not sure what's going on, and he's having problems with what he's thinking about, that could cause him to have problems with you know where he's at, or what he's trying to do. So, and then I would have to stop everything and try to take care of him as well. So I just want to try to avoid that, um for not just the stream's sake, but also his sake. So anyways, I just want to make you aware of that, because um you know uh cats can live 20 some odd years. In peak health, they could live, I mean, my father has a long-haired gray cat, a long-haired Siamese silver tip cat, and he's turned 21 this year, and he's still alive and kicking. um and the my vet said that he's seen, you know the breed I have live up to 25 years. But I mean, they could live up to between 15 through 20 years. So, he still has a couple years left in him, but I just want to make you guys aware, that if something happens with him, I may be an emotional wreck again. I mean, most of you guys who are regulars know um, about me losing my mother, me losing my uncle, and then it's kind of a cascading domino effect right now, but I know I'm gonna take losing him just as bad, even though he's just the pet. I mean, 15 years is still a long time, and being with him every day is it's gonna be a hard presence to replace, But moving on. The other major thing I wanted to kind of just touch on real quickly, my so my orthopedic surgeon told me that my right hand has deteriorated, but it's not deteriorated enough to warrant surgery yet. And she did multiple images of it, and I had them do an EMG on it, and I had two different surgeons look at the test results. Her and an independent colleague, and both of them came to the same decision that it's gotten worse, but it hasn't gotten to the point where surgeries would be the best result. And like you guys have known, last few days it's been, or last week now, it's been very hard for me to do a lot of things. And the immediate plan for everything is we're gonna continue to go ahead and do cortisone shots into my my wrist and thumb area to try to at least keep the mobility going. So I'm not a complete invalid. Yeah. So, man, I don't want to say this. I'm not trying to be mean. Okay, I'm really not trying to be mean, but I really feel that Charlotte Suzu is really secretly like a witch or something, and she casts a spell on me. When when I made fun of her for her segments a few weeks ago, and then when we had our little spat, I just had, when my hand really started acting up, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm really not. But I had this thought. I just had this thought for a split second. I'm like, I could just picture Charlotte with a witch's hat on, going, "Mwah, ha, 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 take this, Marko," and casting a spell on me. Okay, I'm done. I'm really done. But, yeah. And you know what? If she really did do it, maybe I did get what I deserve. I mean, hey, maybe I was a little bit mean to her, and I was I'm gonna make a just kind of a quick comment on that stuff. Yeah, there we go. Any intervention suggested with your hand? So, essentially, what it's boiled down to is I have to, in the meantime, at least for and until it. So I have some lab tests that have to be done or performed next week for a different reason, and then the injections are scheduled for I believe May 15th or something like that. So I have to wait a little bit because of the doctor that does it is just so backed up. And I live kind of in a rural area to begin with. So yeah, I'll have to wait just a little bit before I get the injection done. But so in the meantime, I have to essentially wear a brace for 8 hours a day. So, I can choose to wear it at nighttime. And the brace pretty much immobilizes my wrist and my thumb completely. And it holds it in a neutral position so it doesn't flex. And then it gives it a chance to rest in a neutral position. And that essentially allows it to ease the tension of the entire tendon area, and allows that whole area to calm down and for that inflammation to calm down. And then in addition to that, there's you can put things on there like uh, you know cooling packs and all that other stuff to help calm down that area and get the inflammation down and whatnot. It's all temporary relief and all that stuff, but at least it'll help in the short term to help calm it down. And then essentially, only utilizing it when you actually need to. So, it's kind of like minimizing the amount of time you use your hand for what you're trying to do, which means minimizing the amount of gaming I do. you know. And minimizing the amount of other stuff I do on the computer as well. Or the other thing I was doing, and I was actually talking to Hoshinon about this, was looking at ergonomic alternatives for mice and keyboards and stuff like that, because she was also starting to complain of having pain in her wrist. And so we've been, it's a little funny that she was complaining about that, because we both started I started helping her kind of shop around for an ergonomic mouse, and I was looking for myself as well. So I may try out a few ergonomic mice just to see if it will make a difference. Yeah, I'm going to be spending as much time with my kitty as possible. He right now my cat is he's asleep in his own he has his own bedroom. He's a spoiled child. He has his own bedroom, and he's asleep in there with the other my other cat. Um, and and it's nice for them as well because they have their own private space and stuff like that. And the other cat is been trying to be extremely helpful to him as well, and kind of trying to shepherd him, so to speak, to remind him where things are, where food is, where the water dish is, where the litter box is, those types of things. So, it's kind of nice that the other cat's there as well. But yeah, I mean, as much as I can, I try to, make sure that he knows where I'm at. If he wants to, hang out and be where I'm at, or, wants my attention, he knows that he automatically has it. Um, the other thing I've been doing is that I've been doing a lot of recording for Hoshinan, because she had me work on a lot of Japanese to English translation for her, and then I wanted to also record what I was working on for her in English, so it can be played in video format. And um there's like six some odd pages of translation stuff, things that I've worked on, and that that's taken the bulk of things that I've been doing in the background. That's I've been doing, and what's occupied my time. So that's another reason why I haven't been as active as I could have been. But that being said, I may um you know the only things I have left to do on that is basically editing, and finishing, putting that stuff together, and then uh you know let her look at it, and then let her decide what she wants to do with it. If she wants to put it up on her site, or her webpage, or her YouTube channel, or my YouTube channel, and that's it. So um you know after that, it'll be kind of like, if I wanted to, hop on for an hour, then I can hop on for an hour, and not do like a 5 hour long stream like I have been, or something like that. So I may kind of break things down a little bit smaller at times, and I may also like do some things like what was suggested before, and see if I can't get permission from the ladies to, when I do audience participation stuff with them, if I can't get permission to stream my perspective from my channel, and stream in the mornings from my perspective, just so I can give them a little bit of exposure, and then stream my perspective. Because like this morning, he was sitting in here with me, and I was playing Minecraft with Hoshinan and her chat, and we were all having a lot of fun together. and he was in here, watching us, and he was just, I mean, he was extremely content, and he loves her voice, you know, and he, I mean, every time she like screams and panics and stuff like that, he gets excited, I mean, he really likes her. He, I think between it's funny because like between my so Hayate, my Siamese, and Tama, my Calico, they like Hoshinan, they like Kasane, the other Japanese VTuber that I do audience participation with, and then and then they like Roboko, and then they like Miko. They like Mikochi. So my cats are based, guys. They're really based. They like the four they like the four core VTubers that they should like. And they you know they get excited when they hear them panic and scream. It's like, they hear him scream, or like "Ora, ora, ora," and they get up and they start running around, and they sprint out of the room, and then they'll sprint back in, and they get wound up and excited, and stuff like that. So um you know they and they sit here, and they'll sit in here, and they'll be like, they will actually sit in here, and they'll watch the screen with me a lot of the mornings, and they'll sit here and watch. They'll watch. They'll sit in here with me watching VTubers most of the mornings. And that's how we usually spend our mornings. Is I'll be sitting in here drinking coffee or having breakfast or whatever, and we'll watch VTubers together. I mean, that's how we spend our mornings, and it's usually, it's usually pretty cool, So, and usually, he's pretty calm in the morning, and that's usually when he's the calmest, is because that's part of his schedule. So, I mean, it may work out best that way, But I will talk to them, and just and ask, because like I said, this morning, I was playing Minecraft with Hoshinan and her chat, and I mean, we had a blast. I mean, I actually spoke and talked more with her chat this morning, and and probably more in the last week than I have in several months. After they, I told them, I said, it'll take a little bit, but if you type in Japanese, it'll take a little bit for me to translate it, but I'll do my best to try to translate it, and then I'll try to type back, And once they understood that, and they weren't afraid, to say something to me, and they realized, hey, this guy is actually trying really hard to talk back to us, I mean, we were making fun of her, we were basically calling her like EDF, Obaba-san, old lady, EDF, old lady, and stuff like that, because she wanted us to call her One-san, and I was like, no, you're always my little sister, and stuff like that. And I mean, it was really fun, and I it's and like I said, my cat's usually calm because he likes watching her. We've been watching her for well over a year now. And he really likes her voice. He wakes me up every morning at 5 in the morning, so we can watch. Well, we usually he usually wakes me up at 4 because of daylight savings time. Because we'll start off watching Amu-chan on Amu's channel, and then at 5 it's Hoshinon, and then depending on who's on after that, So, anyways, that's a different story. Um. So, anyways, I also want to make a quick two statements regarding the recent events with myself and Prison Project and Kawaii Production. These are I don't have them officially written, so this is not going to be kind of like an official written statement or anything like that. But I do want to make this two quick small little statements because there's been some insinuations out there that I've had it out for each agency, and that's not the case. Okay. I'm not hell-bent on trying to take down either agency or any nonsense like that. I'm you know um people misunderstand my stance on what I mean by you support the creator, support the talent, don't as opposed to the agency. My intention is that you always you always look at the individual that is doing the creating, and not the the entity that is like shoving them in your face. And if it's the entity that is creating the persona, and all they're doing is dropping a body into that persona and saying, here, look at this, and there's no substance from that person to make that persona, then perhaps you shouldn't necessarily be buying into that person, because all you're doing is basically buying into somebody that's being a puppet. But if there's realism in the actual person, that person is actually creating the person that is in front of you, and they are owning that that personality, then yes, you're supporting the person. The person is employed by X, Y, or Z. However, you're still supporting the person. So, like, if you are a big Reina fan and Reina is working for Production Kawaii, you're supporting Reina. She works for Production Kawaii. But that doesn't mean that, if Reina leaves and she's the only one that you supported for, out of Production Kawaii, that doesn't mean that you're still supporting Production Kawaii. If Reina leaves and then she becomes a different person, a different entity, Does that mean that you're still supporting production Kawaii? No, you're supporting her. You know, unless you find somebody else in production Kawaii. But even then, if you're only supporting one person in that agency, you're not supporting the entire agency. Unless you are supporting the entire agency, which you could very well be. If you're a Giga Chad and you're dropping, you know, hundreds of dollars a month on every single talent there, yeah, sure, then you're supporting the agency. Or you're just donating to that agency in general, then yeah, you're supporting the agency. But there's a big difference between that. And I want people to understand that, okay? You know, and that's always been my intention. If you look at my donation history, you know, I always am very selective with talent that I donate to, because I donate specifically to talent. And I don't donate specifically because, you know, oh, that person is Hololive. Yeah, here's my money. Oh, that person is, you know, this brand. Here's my money. You know, no, it's always, you know, I'm going to support that person because that is who this person is, and I want them to know that I support them and their efforts. I mean, that's why, you know, that's why, you know, someone who has, you know, just as many subscribers on YouTube as I do, you know, that's why I spent, you know, $200 some odd to have her, you know, to buy her merch and have it shipped internationally from Japan to the United States. And then be proud enough to, you know, once it got here, to post it on Twitter and say, look, your merch is now in the United States, and your listener has finally got it in his hands. You know, and I am really, really happy that it arrived here, you know, and this is something I'm going to take very good care of. Because, you know, I support that person, you know, and she has just as many subscribers as I have. But I think she's a very, you know, talented person. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, Ankaro, you know, she hit, 1,000 subscribers, you know. And she asked me, what, you know, why do you support me so much, you know? And I said, well, because I think there's something here. You have talent, you know? You are a talented person, and you deserve to have people support you, you know? Because you work very hard, and this is your payoff. You know, there's, you know, this is the reason. What you are getting right now from me is the payoff for why you're doing what you're doing. This is your payoff. And she's like, I don't deserve this from you. You know, you don't need to do this. I'm like, I want to do this because this is your payoff. This is what you've earned. You've earned this, you know? Because she started realizing, after she started adding it up, you know, I bought 2 keychains, right? I bought 2 keychains, 2 little, you know, those little acrylic keychains, you know, $9.99 keychains, $20 shipping fee, and then you add in another $10 handling charge from that payee site. So $50 keychain after it was all said and done. You know, I think I did the math right. $20, $30, $40 keychain $40 acrylic keychain. Two of them, $80 for two acrylic keychains to be sent to the United States. $80. And she's and she's like, why are you spending $80 for two acrylic keychains of me? I have a I have a so I the only the only way I have a support link in my description. In every description of video, portion of my video that goes to Streamlabs, where you could do a Streamlabs donation. I don't actively promote it because I mean. I'm not out to get people's money, and I try to make that abundantly clear, that some streamers, I mean, they're if you listen to their streams long enough, you can tell that they have worked their sales pitch of ensuring that they remind you to donate to them into what they're saying. And it annoys the heck out of me. Or they have like an automated bot saying, "Oh, and just a reminder, here's my donation page. You can donate to me anytime you want. You don't have to, but here it is, just in case you want to." This kind of that reminder type thing. And I did that for a little while, but then I started thinking, I don't. Right now, I don't really. I'm not. I'm not. I don't want to have my hand out here begging people for their money when I mean, first, the first and biggest thing that I have always said for my channel is that this place is for us. It's a safe haven for us. We come here, to hang out, to talk about things that are important to us. If to play games, and talk about VTubers, play games, talk about games or whatever. If things are happening that are affecting you and nothing's really going on in chat and you want to talk about, hey, no one's talking in chat, go for it. Unless it's something extremely uncomfortable that makes people really uncomfortable and I ask you to stop, that that's fine with me. I've said it before and I've said it again. I'll say it again, because I said this about a certain person, and perhaps people will understand what I'm saying by me saying this, okay? People misunderstand the fact that I have an extraordinary amount of life experience that I draw upon. Not my life experience and perspective is extremely unique, and it's not gonna fit every. It's not the shoe is not gonna fit everybody that is out there that comes in or out of my chat. However, it's a unique enough perspective to be a a neutral opinion as a neutral outsider, and most of the time, and I say that honestly, most of the time my perspective will be neutral and based and and completely candid. And that's why I will always say that anybody in my chat, you know, especially if you come in here honestly, you know, I'm not gonna unless you come in here and are always completely 100% disruptive in my chat. I don't typically turn people away. In my in on my channel. There's very, very few exceptions that and the reason for that is because I believe everyone does deserve a chance, and that's just the way it is. you know um and I think everyone has a right to at least speak their piece, as long as you follow my chat rules. And if something happens where hey, I didn't account for it, then we'll have to take care of that. But we'll take care of that when I take care of that. But yeah, $200. $200. I've spent. I've dropped 200 easy on Ankara, and I don't regret it. I really don't. Um, I think I posted the picture that she sent me of that the handwritten, one of the actual only handwritten pictures that she signed and actually wrote a message to me on the picture. I started crying when I opened up the package and saw that she had written a small message on the picture to me, because I'm so glad that she is remaking her debut. She's making her re-debut, and breaking her hiatus on Golden Week with a new character model. So I'm really excited about that, and it sounds like she's been able to get things on the right track. So I'm hoping things will be better for her. And she's actually, and that's the other thing. Guys, look, I know one person in particular was very critical of me. Yeah, yeah. I know one person in particular was very critical of me, and I didn't have a good response to that person, because okay. I'm glad I got to this before I forgot, because I almost forgot. So uh I don't talk about this a lot because it was an extremely personal thing that I thought didn't need to really be talked about. Um, but it came out with the whole Pina thing, so I ended up saying it anyways. But as some of you guys know, you know I've been treated for PTSD and social anxiety. Um, and During that whole the processing and diagnosis and everything like that, they pretty much decided or discovered that it was a I had not I had I had gone undiagnosed with social anxiety pretty much my entire life because of the physical abuse that I had endured since I was a kid. Not from my parents, not from family, but from being bullied from when I was like in third grade, all the way to my junior year in high school. I was bullied daily, and so I developed social withdrawal and anxiety from that, and PTSD. And that's largely why I'm also an introvert, but that's a different story. Uh, and so, anyways, they put me on medication for it, right? And as you guys know, the last couple of years haven't been extremely kind in a lot of ways for a lot of people, and myself included. Between COVID, losing mom, losing my uncle, and then the seemingly cascading amount of people that I knew personally who either graduated, had to go on hiatus, or both. When the girls from Gen 3 of Production Kawaii had their graduation notice come out, I went livid because I in my mind, that was the last straw. I was like, I can't take this anymore. I just can't. This is it. I mean, these are the last people that I'm gonna have taken away from me. I'm done. I'm done with this. That was the thought in my mind. Okay, that's the way I processed it. And I waited a good 12 hours because I knew that with after my first experience with the whole Russia incident, that and it kind of started with the Russia incident, that and then doing my own research on things that were going on behind the scenes with her, that the real info doesn't start leaking right away. It usually leaks within the first 12 hours. And it's usually because people start talking, or they can't not talk within those first 12 hours. and it usually involves people talking when they shouldn't be talking, and it's either because of the people who are involved or people that are associated with the people that are involved, so on and so forth, blah 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 blah. And I still had a number of back channel contacts that I tapped on, you know, and they didn't know anything. I checked my usual sites and sources, and they were pretty much on the same page as where I was, and it wasn't. And so I ran with what I had. However, it was also misconstrued that I had immediately jumped to their defense. And it was less that I was immediately defending them. It was more that I was defending myself. Because I took it personally, because I was like, I'm tired of all my VTubers being taken away from me. That's just Beavers, welcome. Yeah, welcome. So yeah, I was just tired of it. I was sick of it. I was like, stop taking my VTubers away from me. Just leave my VTubers be. This is, these are the people I love. These are the people I enjoy watching on a daily basis. Stop taking them away from me. This is what I want. You know, I mean, it was one of the few times where it was less about um it was less about necessarily like defending them, and it was or defending them as their character, and it was more of defending myself on their behalf, because as a person who enjoyed their content, I felt like I was the one that was being attacked by the agency, saying you're gonna buy anything we tell you, and you're gonna believe that's true. Just accept whatever it is that we tell you, and agree with it and move on. When in my mind, the way I process everything, I listened to everything that was told to me. I looked at it and I listened to it, and I said, none of this makes any sense, and it does not, and nor does it make any kind of logical sense. The story does not add up. What are you not telling me? I'm like, this is just, what is this mess? And and you want me to accept this? Okay, no. Here's your mess. I'm leaving. You can take this mess. I'm leaving. So yeah, see you later, Eugene. Yeah, luckily the snow is starting to melt a little bit, since it's starting to warm up just above freezing a little bit, but it's a slow melt. But yeah, it'll take a little bit. But yeah, thank you for dropping in, Eugene. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You have a great day, or evening, or nights, whatever it is. All right, thank you so much for dropping in. I appreciate it. So, anyways, that's the situation regarding Kauai and Prison Project. I have no ill will towards those two entities as a whole. You know, they're and like I've mentioned it before. Those entities are I mean, they're more than free to do whatever it is that they want to do. I personally felt that in the case of those two people in particular, that especially one of them who I felt was very deceptive towards me, as a person, as a paying customer, since I was an active member of her channel, and I was an active paying member of her channel for months, and yet I was still, if I was supposedly banned for months on her channel, but yet I was still paying as a member. How could I be both? It was a very deceptive way of doing business, is what I'm saying, right? I mean, how could you do both? To me, it was a very much a kind of like a catfish almost type of situation. So I mean, that's why I felt that it was worth calling that person out and calling that situation out. People don't have to agree with that. People don't have to agree with my opinions. They don't have to agree with my logic or even my evidence. Free world. People have free will. You know, I get that there are people that I may interact with that like that person or that agency, and also want to support me. Again, that's your choice. I'm not gonna tell you you have to pick one or the other. That's completely your choice. I think we're all grown enough people to be able to make those decisions on our own. It's something I specifically felt that I needed to say something about, because I mean, I look back at the amount of dollar value that I had spent on that particular streamer. I mean, I didn't spend a lot on that person, but I did drop probably between 5 and 800 last year on her. That money could have gone to a very, very better cause if that was the way that was going to be treated. Just saying. I mean, that could have gone to Ankaro, especially during her time of need this last year. Just saying. I mean, that's the way I felt. So it is what it is. But again, I don't wish any ill will towards anybody, or any entity. I really hope that at least something good or positive will come about of everything else, and that we can all move on from it, because I have other things I have to worry about now. My health. I have to worry about my cat's health. I mean, I can't dwell on that stuff forever, and like I told a lot of stands of Charlotte, as like she's trying to call me out on something that happened 2 years ago. I had completely forgotten about that altercation until she brought it up. I mean, if you're that petty to hold something against somebody for 2 years, um, and you hold it that hard against somebody for 2 years, you should really reprioritize what you're doing, because there's there's more important things in life than to hold grudges against people like that. I'm just saying, it happened. You can be mad about it. You've been mad about it. You've expressed your madness about it. Release it and move on. I mean, life is going to take care of any retribution, right? I mean, retribution's going to happen at some point. It doesn't have to be by you. I mean, life is going to bring it about. I mean, that's what I believe, anyways. Anyways, what was I gonna say? So that was that's pretty much everything with Production Kawaii and with Prison Project. I they can go do what they want to do. I saw that Prison Project just had announced that three more people are going to be debuting for them. Good for them. I mean, I really hope that they have success with Prison Project. I mean, they seem to be doing very well as opposed to the other company. Hopefully those three are decent people. And hopefully those three aren't recycled people that were very undecent people from other places that are now working for Prison Project. I'm really hoping that's not the case, but I guess we'll see once they debut, right? But good for them. Good for them. We'll see. We'll see. So going forward with the channel and with streaming, how things are gonna work for the rest of the year. So in the near term, I originally had some concepts planned out that I didn't get started quick enough before Resident Evil and Dead Island 2 came out, with the whole Best Scream in Prison Project, not Prison Project, Best Scream in Hololive streams. And I'm thinking that for the near term, with I still have Atomic Heart, I still have RE4, and I still want to try the Minecraft Legends, and then also with the audience participation stuff with like Mahjong and Minecraft and I think there's one or two other things, and I still want to do that stuff. So in the short term, I definitely want to I'll talk to the other girls about streaming that stuff, right? And then I'll also we'll continue with those because we are elbow deep in story and lore with those games. I'd like to finish them and polish those off. I'm really digging and enjoying the story in Atomic Heart, and I really think it's underrated compared to, and people just haven't given that a chance. I don't know. if it's just me or not, but you know, yeah. But I have Gen Zero all compiled for doing the best scream of Hololive. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and kind of go with the what with doing that, kind of like how we did the Miko review of the best clips of Miko and stuff like that. I mean, that was like really fun. And we'll do that, and we'll kind of do it kind of like as a tier list almost thing, and we'll go through Gen Zero, and we'll review those screams and stuff like that, and then I'll also post a temporary link to a Discord a Discord channel where if you feel like I missed a particular, or maybe what I'll even do is I'll do like a temporary link to like a Google Forms. That might even be a safer thing, so you can submit like a link to of a clip or something like that. So like if you have a submission you want to want the stream to review, say like like no, this one's better, or this for this person or whatever, and then we can kind of discuss that, and then kind of tier rank it for that particular generation before we pick a winner, and then if if we can't, and if we a winner can't be like discussed in chat, then I'll just pick a winner. So well, do something like that, so yeah. And I mentioned this before as well, is for Hololive and doing this kind of tier list type thing. I'm also going to include Coco and Rusia, despite the fact that they are graduated, and they won't be able to win Best Scream in Hololive since they aren't active. However, they will be recognized as one of the best screamers of Hololive, because they deserve, especially Rusia deserves to be recognized. And I'm gonna make it kind of general, make it kind of generalized, since like some screams are not like out of panic, like if you look like Coco, when she screams, a lot of it was like screaming like "Oda," and stuff like that, or Miko, her screams are kind of like a mixture of crying and I don't know what. Or if you look at like Luna's screams are kind of like crying. So I mean it's just it it doesn't have to be like pure panics, like horror screams, but I mean usually those are the best because they're organic. But oh yeah. I haven't heard Kobo's yet. but I've heard Ollie's, and Ollie's is pretty good, you know, and that's why I thought it would make a very good um, type of just kind of a content changer type thing to do on the channel, that wouldn't require a lot of um, you know it would be low impact on me for my hands and everything else. Because I mean, yeah, I would still have to do the searches and gather up the clips and stuff like that. But that's a hell of a lot easier than trying to put in 30 hours on a game, or spend 50 hours trying to crunch through Elden Ring, or you know do a Dark Souls type of game. Um, I know that I wanted to play Breath of the Wild before the new Zelda game came out, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to handle that before that comes out. I mean, I had to rest my hands the day before um, um, Hoshinan's Splatoon streams, just to make sure that my hands weren't already exhausted before before I played with her. And um I I I I if I could be real again, just for a little for a moment, guys, I'm so happy that she's back, guys. I'm so happy. I am. Oh my god. I I I I, I'm so happy that she's back. Um, and the I mean, I know that I'm still missing a couple people that aren't going to be here, but with Ankaro coming back on Golden Week, and hopefully things go right. I'm just praying, guys. I'm serious. I'm serious. I mean, I'm really praying. I'm like, God, please give just give me the rest of this year to. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm I'm praying hard, guys. I'm like, please just give me the rest of the year, and let us all be together. Just 8 months. It's 8 months of peace. I mean, 8 months of peace. That's all I'm asking. Just give us 8 months. 8 months. I mean, it would be nice if we could be all together longer. No one else leave. No one else have to go. No one else have to disappear. No one else. None of this other stuff. Just. I mean, Mako-san. Mako-san! Mako-san! Yashai! Ankaro! Yeah. Did you not see? Ankaro is making her new debut, re-debut, new model, and debut, Golden Week. Did you see? She announced it on Twitter that new model, her new model, she got her new model yesterday, and she will debut it on Golden Week. Yeah. She just got it yesterday, and she said that she can move she can move and move around so much more fluidly. She has a lot more motion in her character model. And she wrote to me that uh, she got new clothes for her character. She got has a new outfit. So yeah, it should be really nice. So I'm looking forward to it. Coming soon, yes, coming soon. How about Pommy? You don't watch Pommy, not a real VTuber fan. You know, I, I, I try to watch as many as I can, but it's so hard to watch. So I mean, there are so many that um there are so many that I have tried to watch, and it's uh it's been difficult the last few months. And I think part of the reason is there hasn't been one of those titles that one of those games that really makes you want to like stick and watch somebody consistently, because of the drama that the game causes. With that person, there's always, you have players, you have games that have the drama built into them because of the story, right? But then you also have the drama that the player can build as playing the character. Like Pamu, for example. Pamu was great at um, drawing out the entire story arc of Big Boss and Solid Snake when she was playing the entire Metal Gear series, because she ran through the entire series, right? And she basically you know did it from well, she kind of did it backwards, since she did the Solid series and then went back to Metal Gear. But she backtracked a lot of the story, and she learned a lot of the backstory of how Big Boss became who he was, and how Solid Snake came back around to close the circle, so to speak, right? But the drama of how that all came about, and then her learning how that circle came to be, and just what Hideo Kojima was trying to talk about with the different narratives that he was building into his stories, was very interesting to see how she was learning what those narratives were through learning about the story of Big Boss and Solid Snake. So you have those two different aspects of things, but you can't really get that type of drama, and you can't really get that kind of depth in a stream if all they do is play Valorant all day, every day, 5 days a week, or Apex. Yeah, they may have great shots or great kills or clip worthy whatever, or excellent, kill ratios or whatever you want to do, whatever. Yeah. But it's all mindless. In a lot of ways, it's a very mindless. It would almost be like, um, it's kind of like how I tell people, yeah, you can have a great 7-hour Minecraft stream, but you can have a 7-hour Minecraft stream where you're basically just farming resources, but have a very good conversation with your chat. Or you could spend 7 hours creating a masterpiece, but barely say a word. There's a difference. You see what I'm saying? It really depends on how the content is being made and what you're doing with the content that you're making it with. If you don't, if you can't do that kind of thing with the content that you're presenting, and all you're doing is basically bang bang bang, shoot shoot shoot, whatever, and there's no depth behind it, you're watching a cute anime girl kill people, but that's all it is. There's no depth beyond that. It's just a cute anime girl killing people. There's no depth behind it. Better late than never. Welcome. Yeah. I started extremely late. I just to kind of fill you in on what's going on. The TLDR. I have a very ill, very sick pet. My cat that I've had since a little kitten. He's a Siamese. We believe he's in the first stages of feline Alzheimer's, and about like 20 minutes before I started streaming, it was kind of like he had a panic attack, where he basically ran into the room where I streamed, and he hid underneath my desk, right, and it hit, and like he hid he hid underneath there like he was hiding from something, like he was scared. And the only times he does that is like when he thinks he's being chased by something, or he thinks that he hears something like if there's like a big dog that is like at the windows, he'll do that, or like if there's like like a lawnmower or something like that, right? But usually, it was 7 o'clock at night, and I didn't hear any dogs. There, no one was cutting the grass. There's snow outside, and no one's in my apartment but me, and I checked all around, and he just wouldn't come out. But he's been like that for last several weeks now, where he just has these random episodes, and then he starts he's been pacing my apartment constantly like he's lost. Like he doesn't know what he's trying to find or where he's going, and usually they'll start repacing their steps to find their landmarks, but they can't really remember where they're trying to go after they find their landmarks, and that's what he's doing. And there's a couple other things, but I don't want to go into them because they're I mean, yeah. So, and there's nothing you can really do with with Alzheimer's. But I mean, he's had a long life. He turns 15 this year. Like I said, I've had him since he was a little kitten. He's my little buddy. Um, you know, um, I couldn't just let him hide there and say, well, you're gonna be okay, and stream like nothing was wrong. I would never do that to my cat. Um, I mean, he's like my little baby. He is my little baby. Like I said, I've had him for almost 15 years now, and I spoil him rotten. I mean, for crying out loud, I bought or I rent a 2-bedroom apartment specifically so he could have his own. They can have their own bedroom. I mean, come on. I'm paying for my cats to have their own bedroom. Anyways, so, but yeah. So that's basically what's going on, and then I also, my situation with my hand has not improved, but they're not considering surgery yet, but I will be getting cortisone injections in it to hopefully ease the pain in it. So yeah, that's also where that's at. But I just wanted to explain above everything else what's going on to everyone, to let everyone know why things are happening the way they're happening. Oh, and that's the other thing. Before I got kind of sidetracked with everything else I was talking about. Thanks for going back to that, Beavers, by the way. I got sidetracked off of I got sidetracked yeah I yeah it's very it'll take a while to recover from it, and I so kind of going back to what I was talking about before I got really sidetracked. As you guys know, or as some of you guys know, with everything that I've gone through in the past couple years with losing my mother, and my uncle, and all this other stuff that's happened, and them and being diagnosed with PTSD and social anxiety. The the doctors put me on some medication to help with the anxiety and the depression, right? And I was okay with that. I was like, well, I mean, I was very depressed about a lot of stuff. I mean, most days I was not wanting to get out of bed because I was just very depressed. Yada yada yada, right? And the thing of it was, the one of the medications that they put me on, was what it had its intended effect, but it worked too well. And it made me very hypersensitive towards things for a few weeks. And I wasn't aware that I was being very hypersensitive towards things until I went in for an appointment with one of my physicians, and they noticed I was acting a bit peculiar, and so they they started talking to me and stuff like that, and they she asked me that Marko, calm down, Marko, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. What are 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 you accusing me of something? And she's like, no, Marko, what's wrong? I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong? Wait. I just came in here for a checkup, and you're questioning me now. Are you accusing me of? Are you accusing me of something that you think I'm taking something? I mean, all I did. I'm just here for a checkup. Are you think I'm in here trying to abuse drugs or something like that? And she's like, okay, Marko, I'm gonna get your other physician on the phone here, and we need to discuss the medications that you have recently been put on, because you are having a very hypersensitive reaction to what they put you on. And I just want you to be aware that we are here to help you with what you're going through, and this, we're not accusing you of anything. We're here help. We're here to help you. We're gonna get you through this, and we're gonna do this in the most productive and responsible manner possible. And we need you to trust us, and see that, and that's the thing, and this is kind of what the best part of, what I was also trying to explain to that particular other VTuber that's out there, is that if you are even lore wise, right? If you are going to portray somebody who is in the business of helping and healing people, trust is a huge thing that you really need to build, and bonds, between people, especially the people that are coming to you and looking to you for that healing and that help, and that just that general practice of, if you walk through my door, and you're gonna tell me something in confidence, that I'm going to hold it in confidence, and I'm going to try to make those best decisions, and what I say and what comes out of my mouth is going to be in confidence that, what I'm going to say is going to be what's best for you, because I believe that this is the best thing that I can give you to help you, get through what you're getting through, or what you're going through, right? So long story short, she got that doctor on the phone, you know, and that doctor was, you know, right in the middle of seeing another patient, you know, and she told his nurse, she's like, no, I need him on the phone now. I have a situation here that, you know, demands his attention. I understand he's with another patient. I need 5 minutes with him, you know, and, you know, got him on the phone and said, and, you know, she was, you know, talking, you know, told him exactly what she was observing, you know, and I started talking, you know, just you know, a few questions from him, and answering a few things for him, and everything like that, and automatically he realized, hey, you know, I mean, started me on a dosage, and it was, you know, obviously too high, you know, and we cut it in half, and, you know, a week later, you know, I was back to where I was supposed to be, you know, and everything else, and I was, you know, feeling better, and in a much better place. But for at least 2 weeks, I know that I might have gone through a very bad 2 weeks where I was very hypersensitive towards a lot of things, and I may have gone through a lot of mood swings during that time frame. And if I did, I honestly don't remember either. And that's kind of the other bad thing that was with that medication as well. But yeah, so that's that, you know, that's another thing I do need to apologize to my audience for, and anyone out there that, you know, may have watched me over, probably, and this happened, you know, probably within the last 6 weeks. So just to let people know out there that this probably happened within the last six, you know, this it definitely happened within the last 6 weeks. I'm just going to put that time frame out there. So, you know, just to put that out there, you know, in the last 6 weeks, if you know, you did, you know, think, you know, wow, Marko seems a bit triggered, you know, or something, that was probably the reason, you know, just to put that out there. And I do want to apologize for that, because it's not something that I was necessarily in control of. I mean, I was trying to do what was in the best interest of myself, and my audience, and the people around me, by, you know, getting medical help and attention, and getting things, getting, you know, treatment for the you know, behavior issues that I was going through, and unfortunately, you know, it was a very bad side effect of the medication I was put on. So, but yeah, you know, going back to what you said, Beavers, I, you know, I've had to say goodbye to cats before, with you know, but they were always my, you know, they were always my mother's cats, more or less, you know, when I was younger, and they were never my cat, you know. There was never, you know, my specific cat, you know. I mean, this was, and Hayate, my Siamese, and this, he is literally like my first actual, like, actual pet that I've had ever, you know, as an adult. You know, so it's it's gonna be an experience, you know. Um, and I told the the audience earlier, you know, I really hope, again I pray to God that he can go peacefully here at home, and that he doesn't have to go, you know, in a vet office, you know. I'd rather him go peacefully here at home in his in his sleep than have to go around, complete strangers, you know. So, but I mean, you guys will know. I mean, you guys will know when that happens. I mean, I think you guys will will know. I mean, obviously, guys will know. I'll tell you, but um, it will affect me, you know. And 15 years is a good lifespan for a cat. You know, I mean, my dad, he, well, my dad has a Siamese, and he turns 21 this year, and he's still alive and kicking. I think the oldest, I think he's the oldest cat that my family's ever had too. So, but other than that, um, I think that's everything I was planning on covering. Um, I'm just trying to think if was there anything else. Oh, I think that's it. Yeah. So, what I'm gonna do, guys, is I had been trying to announce whether or not I was going to stream. For me, it was always 12 hours in advance, because I was always basing it upon whether I was feeling physically able to. Um, but instead, I'll post the rooms up in advance, but in the near term, I'm probably not going to announce my streams until I'm about like an hour out, and that way I can kind of try to judge it based on what's going on here at home. At least for the short term, because I don't want to announce it and then say I have to cancel it like I did tonight, and I don't want to keep on doing that to I mean, I feel bad doing that every single time, especially if it's not if it's not me. I mean, if it's, I mean, obviously, if it was me, I wouldn't do it. But if it's a situation that I just can't control, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't want to like constantly going, yeah, I'm going to stream, and then no, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. I'd like to at least give people kind of it's like a little heads up and saying, yeah, I'm going to be on in an hour, or I'm going to be on then here there, but I'll at least like put the rooms up in advance, and, and then list them up on the maybe on the community tab. Um, but I won't actually like announce them. The stream is going live until like an hour in advance, just to play it a little safer. Um, and things are probably going to be like a little bit more like low impact for me. Um, I tried running through some of the earlier chapters in Resident Evil 4, just to test out like how my hand would hold up with the controller, and you know it's 50-50, but it's I think I can handle Resident Evil 4 if I can handle Atomic Heart. So I'm gonna keep on trying to get through that. I know that there's some pretty cool scenes that are coming up on that, and then like I said, I do want to try to get through Atomic Heart. I've never played Breath of the Wild, and I have that. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna play the new one. Um, I'm trying to convince Hoshinan to buy it, because she's like, yeah, she's never played a Zelda game either, but I don't know if she's gonna get it or not, because she's trying to figure out what game she's gonna play next. But if she doesn't get that, I may get it. I'm not sure yet, but yeah. So, anyways, um, I'm trying not to look too far ahead, but anyways, that about covers everything. I just like I said, I wanted to just update everyone on what's happening. That way, you guys know what's going on. Near term, the only thing that's going to change on the channel is probably like kind of maybe a little bit of the restructuring of maybe content, and when it's going to happen. If the other ladies, if the ladies allow me to stream my perspective in the mornings, I maybe do that a lot more, and maybe stream less for me in the afternoon. In the near term, if they are kind of hesitant on doing that, letting me do that, then I may swap content and do less impact type of stuff for my hand until I get the injection done, and then go back to playing more intense games. And that'll just be for a couple weeks. But other than that, with some of the stuff that's happening here at home, it may also influence when I do stream. So just please be aware of that. Thank you for your patience with everything and your compassion. It's my and I'll post a picture of my little guy here after I end the stream. I mean, I know some of you guys have seen my cat, but I mean he's my he's my pride and joy, because he's my like I said, I've had him for so long that I don't know what I'd do without him. He comes into my bedroom every night. Well, after I finish streaming, he'll probably he usually will come into my bedroom about 1 o'clock, and then he'll fall asleep with me. So yeah, I'm gonna be in the stream here pretty soon. Red, thank you so much for dropping in. It was great seeing you. You take care of yourself as well. All right. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. You take care. All right. Big hugs to you too. Thank you. So, yeah. So thank you guys so much for your patience. Yeah, thank you guys so much for your patience, everyone. And Beavers, thank you so much for dropping in. Better late than ever. Again, thank you so much for dropping in. Mako-san, thank you so much for dropping in. Oreo, thank you so much for dropping in. Eugene, I know you're not. You had to leave. Thank you so much for coming by. The cool T, 2T, thank you for dropping in. Unya, again, thank you so much for dropping in. I appreciate you guys, being here. Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for dropping in, for being here. I know that there's probably some lurkers out there as well. If you're lurking, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And again, guys, I know that I know that the full potential of things that I've wanted to do haven't always panned out, but I really wanted to try to stay accountable for what I am been trying to do with the channel. And even if I don't accomplish the things that I want to do with the channel, I at least wanted to try to be accountable to you guys. I've always told you guys up front, I mean, I don't do this for money. My channel is not monetized. I have a donation link in my description, but I never actively push it. And I always joke about it before. I mean, I've made a net profit of like $3 and some change in the last year and a half on on the channel, but that was a net profit. And expense wise, I have spent including my new computer tower and my cables, so I made like $3 and some change last year, but I spent about 1,400 in the last year and a half. So I have a net loss of about $1,400 on the channel. So it's never been about the money, guys. Umberto, thank you so much for dropping in. I'm just ending the stream, my friend. I'm so sorry. No, you're fine. It's okay. Yeah. Just to give you a quick recap, Umberto. So just to give you the quick TLDR. So regarding my health, I'm gonna be getting a cortisone injection in my hand on May 15th. My hand hasn't been getting better, but they're not going to do surgery on it yet. It's not bad enough to do surgery, so they're going to do a cortisone injection on May 15th and on my hand. So in the meantime, I may not be playing a lot of intense games until then, so that it's just something that I'll have to deal with until then. There's not really anything they can do about it. The other big thing is my 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 cat that I've had for 15 years. Yeah, he's almost 15 years old. Is showing signs of being in first stage of feline Alzheimer's, and he's really struggling right now. And it really affected me really bad, because it's really painful to watch. But like I said, I've had him for 15 years, and I can't act like he's not. I can't act like he's not in trouble. There's nothing you can do about it, but except to console him, to treat him like, to be there for him, and to comfort him, and to let him know that he's safe and okay. And I'm not gonna, I can't stream and play a video game and act like he's not in trouble, and that's what happened earlier today. So I may have to change some things around on my channel when I stream and when I do things. So I just want people to know that that's something that that's going to happen. So I just want you to know that as well, that I may my streaming schedule may change because of that. But I'll try to keep you and everyone else up to date on when I stream, or what changes are gonna happen, and try to keep you informed as much as possible. Okay. But I gotta take care of my little guy first. I mean, he kept me company, while I was recovering from surgery. He kept me company when I was recovering from my spinal fusion. He's kept me company, through a lot of tough times, and I can't act like he's not in trouble and just go about my own business. And I can't do that. I'll give up everything else first before I can't abandon him. I just can't do that. I can't, so I'm sorry. I'm trying not to tear up again. So yeah, just to be aware of that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. It's thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry that that the other thing is, I will post the stream, the rooms for the streams in advance, but I won't announce them in advance like I used to. And when I do announce that I'm gonna do a stream, it will probably be more close to like an hour before I actually do the stream. That way you guys know that I am more certain that I will be able to do the stream, as opposed to like what happened today. Obviously something can still happen within that hour time frame, but if like he's having an episode, at least I can know in advance that it will likely be one of those days, and I can just like pull the room completely in advance, as opposed to announcing it 12 hours in advance and then having to cancel it afterwards. So I'll have those rooms up there, but if if anything happens, I'll be able to tell you yes or no, you know as opposed to announcing it 12 hours in advance and then saying no, I have to cancel it later. So um I'll iron all that out on the community tab. That way you guys can be informed of how all that will work going forward. So um other than that, that should cover it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because it's actually been a very it's been a very stressful day, but I'm glad that I've been able to kind of get all this out, because I've been wanting to just let you guys know what's going on, as well as trying to take care of this other business, this other personal side of business, because while I know that you guys don't necessarily need to know a lot of this stuff, I feel it's important for you guys to supporting me as listeners, and people that come in and support me as viewers and listeners and everything like that. I just feel that, yeah, as a sign of respect to you, you know, being able to tell you guys, hey, look, this stuff is going on. You guys obviously give me some of your time and your patience and everything like that. I at least want to let you guys know, hey, this is what's happening. I'm not trying to waste your time. This is what's happening. This is what the real deal and what's going on. So, obviously, if I was taking your money and your time, I would go into even more graphic detail. But just the fact that I'm trying to be upfront with you guys. I hope that I can keep your respect. For trying to run my channel as honest as possible. 'Cause I mean that's the way I want to do it. I just want to be able to run my channel honestly. I want to run it honestly, and that's why like I said, I don't even ask for people's money, because I want you here. I don't want I don't necessarily want your money. I just want you here. That's what I want. I want you here. So okay, all right, guys. I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if you're lurking out there, thank you so much for being here. Like I've always said, you don't have to be to interact, to be here as a listener, as a follower, as a subscriber. You just being here, that's good. It's good enough. If that's the way you want to play it, that's the way you want to be. That's good enough for me as well. You're more than free to talk and chat. I don't bite. Chat most of the time don't bite, but no pressure, okay? But other than that, thank you guys. You guys have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. If Umberto, I'm sorry, my friend, that you I'm sorry I'm ending on you, but I will try my best tomorrow the stream if possible. If not, we'll catch you next week for sure sometime, okay? I will try my best not to stress. I am really trying hard not to stress. But hopefully stress will be going down hopefully next week. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. All right. Thank you so much, guys. You take care. We'll talk to you soon. Until then, guys, this is Marko Yamashita signing off. Peace.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy.